Hey everyone, so it's time for news time again with Dragondude2525. This time I'm going to be talking about a couple of games that are set to be released this month, October 2013. The first two games are games that are going to be released tomorrow, that is Tuesday, October 15th. And the rest of them are games that are set to be released in the following weeks. So I'll start out with a PS Vita game. It's called Valhalla Knights 3. It's an RPG published by Xseed and developed by K2. You're going to be able to select from about 7 different races of characters and 20 different jobs. The jobs include fighter, mage, thief, priest, Akatoki, or archer, and there's a whole bunch of other ones too. You can play either as a single character, or you can create a party of your own and do different missions and stuff like that. It's definitely going to be a very bloody, sexualized, and violent game, so it should be amazing. And it's set to be released October 15th. Next up is Worms: The Revolution Collection. It's for the 360. And it's going to be a collection of Worms Revolution and Worms 2, and it's going to include 8 bonus DLC packs. I'm not entirely sure what's part of each of the DLC packs, but it should be just, I don't know, extra maps, extra stuff, just extra things that should be fun to play with. But I don't know if you could really call a collection that only has 2 games in it really a collection. It just sounds like a sort of cheap move there. But yeah, it's set to be released October 15th. And yeah, it's just worms. You play as a team of 4 worms, and they get ridiculous weapons, and they try to attack and kill each other. You can play multiplayer with several other people, and they each have 4 worms on their team. And yeah, it's been a really fun series so far. Next up is a 3DS game, and it's Sonic Lost Worlds. You're going to be playing as Sonic, of course. It says new moves, Sonic's amazing new moves and incredible color powers are as you race across unique terrains, racing inside, outside, and upside down. Save the world and take on the deadly 6 in dynamic boss battles that will test Sonic's moves to the max. So it could either fall into 2 categories here. It'll be a disaster like the last few Sonic games have been, or it'll finally be a return to some more classic Sonic gameplay with a few new added interesting points. But definitely with these weird color power things, it's going to be similar to the last few entries into the Sonic franchise. And it's set to be released October 22nd. Next up is a pretty big game. It's going to be Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. So Blackgate is the 3DS PS Vita version, while just Batman Arkham Origins is the PC 360 PS3 Wii U version. It's going to be a prequel of the previous 2 games, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. It's set several years before the events of those 2 games, and you play as a younger, unrefined Batman as he's still trying to figure out what his role is exactly as this purveyor of justice. But yeah, again, it's going to be a violent game. You're going to get to see him when he first comes into contact with a lot of these different villains and also people that he becomes allied with. And there's going to be multiple versions of it. Not to say multiple versions of the game itself. The game itself is going to have 2 versions. The console version and the handheld version, which are most likely going to have some big differences. But as for regular edition versus collector's edition or any other sort of weird branding that they put on it, there's gonna be a couple, and there's gonna be one collector set that includes like a whole bunch of like random stuff, like a book and random artwork and stuff like that. But yeah, there's gonna be many different options for it. So if you have, like, say, every console and every handheld that's current right now, you'll be able to get it on anything, and it's set to be released October 25th. And then the last game I found interesting, at least that's set to be released in October, is Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for the PS3 and the 360. It's going to be set in 1715, and you get to play as this character called Edward Kenway, who's a trained assassin, and he's also a captain of a pirate ship. The pirate ship's called the Jackdaw, and so far what I've gotten from things I've read about this game is that the world is supposed to be massive, like one of the largest worlds for any of the Assassin's Creed games. And of course it's going to be bloody and violent, and it's rated mature, of course. And yeah, you're gonna get to play as a pirate captain that's also an assassin, so it should be interesting and fun enough. But yeah, pretty much exactly like the previous entries into the Assassin's Creed series. So not a big change, because in the end you're still just an assassin killing people. And that is set to be released on October 29th. Now, I know there are a lot of other games that are also going to be released all throughout October, but they're just not interesting to me, so I didn't bother to mention them at all, because, again, what I like to do is just pick and choose things that I like, or that I at least find interesting, and put it out there for you guys to see. I could go ahead and mention sports games, and like what's that one dance game, Just Dance or something. But those games are not interesting at all to me, so I'm just gonna exclude them. But if you want to see a more comprehensive list of games that are set to be released in the next few months, then you can check out websites like IGN. They're going to have more extensive lists. But here I'm just picking out a couple of big titles or interesting games that are set to be released soon and should be pretty interesting at least. Yep, that's all I've got to say now. Check out these games. They'll be coming out soon. They should all be, well, at least all the console games should be about $59.99, with collector's editions being higher than that. And then handheld games should be around $39.99, well, $29.99 to $39.99, unless of course there is some special bonus set that would most likely cost $49.99 or more. But yep, that's it. That's all I've got to say. I'm closing in on 9 minutes, and I need to cut this off now. See ya.